Welcome back to Terps Esports. My name is Alex, aka Gumi, and I'm joined here with...
I'm Tomas. You can find me at Dormat.
And yeah, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be looking at I think it's the 5th week of the Big Ten Esports Conference for Terps Overwatch. But let's go back real quick and look at that introduction. So first off, let's do a little bit of introduction for our players. First off, we have Tony. In that first clip, you saw his amazing Dragon Blade inside that enemy Kiriko, actually taking out the Genji Dragon Blade, which is massive considering that was the last possible fight on Flashpoint. So Tony just coming in with the clutch factor, amazing Dragon Blade from him. And
absolutely. Yeah. If you let him get one kill, the enemy Genji, especially in Rush, it can just spiral out of control, and that could go from a clean 5-person fight, I think, to perhaps even a lost fight.
Yeah.
So really great stuff there, just cleaning up the game. But what I thought was really impressive was Speep on that off angle.
Yeah.
The entire team was both teams were fighting on that high ground, and Speep was just peppering them from the side. Gets that first pick onto the Lucio, I believe.
Yep.
And then he goes up and joins the rest of his team. Picks off the Mei, picks off the Sojourn back on point. I mean, he's everywhere, and the enemy team is in one place. They're all in spawn.
Exactly. You ever heard the hashtag "Don't peek Speep"?
Yeah.
Don't peek Speep.
Yeah.
All right, and then next up we have Pumpkin, who on the support role, as you can see, very impactful on that Lucio. He creates so much disruption, so much chaos. You can see in this clip, he actually boops the Mei back into the pulse bomb, which is something that you rarely see, that kind of team play like that. And then also 1v1ing a Sojourn with Overclock as Lucio. I mean, come on, man. Like, what more do you want from this man? He is a living legend.
Yeah, the support role is not... you can't just heal bot, and Pumpkin really demonstrates that. Getting just 2 picks, both of those clips, just a full pick by himself.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I look up to him as a Lucio player myself, so...
Absolutely. And then finally, we had Infectious, some great Junker Queen ults, for sure. He was just grinding on that ranked ladder. What I really liked about that first one, the Flashpoint, was how if he had just popped his ult where he was, he would have gone careening off the side of the map, no value, back to spawn. But you can see he jumps to the right and goes right into that wall so that it slows him down.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the next clip, he jumps right into the window with the ult, like absolutely fearless. Just does not care if he's going to get taken down because he knows that the propulsion of the ult is going to take him through the window. And I'm pretty sure that ult was a 5-man Junker Queen ult.
Yeah, it gets all 5. So
all 5.
So he knows, he's probably going to fall very low, jumping right from that window, but he'll get popped right back up with all of that bleed damage. So just great awareness from him.
Great stuff from everyone. And then obviously the last one on picture, we have Moose, and he's going to be playing that main support role, so like the Kiriko, the Baptiste. But obviously another great player. We didn't really get clips from him, but
I'm sure he'll be making plenty today.
We will definitely see some today. So we will be going against the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a great match.
Yeah, I am too.
If you have nothing to say, I think we're
ready to go into the game.
I think we're going to see you guys in a few.
Right after this.
I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp Adventures. Take flight at Stamp. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul. Let your talents soar. Dance, sing, perform. Find your thing. Join more than 800 student organizations and clubs. Find community here. Leadership lives here. Art thrives here. With space to grow. We're all just kids at heart. Let your imagination fly. Compete. Play. With wings on our feet. Here your spirit can fly. Here your soul lifts up. Here you remember those who came before. This is STAM. This is the Center for Campus Life, where Terp adventures take flight. You belong here. Come fly with us.
All right, welcome back, guys. We teleported. We're now in the booth. Yeah, so it's been a while since we talked about Overwatch and the state of Overwatch, but
Yeah, so many changes.
yeah, so many changes, especially coming up in the next patch for Season 9. But what do you think we're going to see today? Like, is it just going to be same old, or are teams going to try something new before the patch? Or
Yeah,
what do you think we're going to see?
I would expect a lot of Ramatra.
Yeah, okay.
People have been playing a lot of Ramatra. He got several buffs coming into into this season. For one, his projectiles are much larger now. So
okay.
Yeah, you can hit shots much more consistently. If you hit all those headshots, people, DPS can evaporate like that. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he's got that fire rate.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with the long range, like if you're accurate and if you can predict the movement of, I mean, any squishy really, like
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Ramatra obviously so strong with that shift, with that the form they call it, gives him so much HP, so much armor. He becomes practically unkillable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think you're definitely right. I think we're going to see a lot of Ramatra, probably a lot of Ramatra brawl, like, same old, especially on good old Lijiang.
Yeah. We all love Lijiang.
We all love Lijiang. I don't really see a lot of variation on this map. I see a lot of,
No.
Ramatra rush.
Yeah, you play Ramatra, you play Sojourn, you play Mei.
Yeah, Bap Lucio, the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the only variation you will see from these comps is like Symmetra, but that's probably only on Night Market.
Yeah, Night Market, get that teleport right into the window. You can get the spawn. You can spawn easy, or not spawn to the point easier.
To the window.
Exactly.
And here we go, round one. Okay, so we're actually not going to see a Symmetra coming out from UMD. We're going to see the Genji, but we're going to see a TP out from spawn, which is going to let them get to the middle ground much quicker. But Nebraska, they are going to go straight to the point with their Symmetra. And now UMD's outside of the point. Now we're going to see how they're attacking this. We're going to see Pumpkin and the Genji on the flank.
Yeah, he's looking for a boop. Looks like the enemy Lucio is going to get a boop onto the Genji, but of course he can just dash away.
Yeah.
And both teams just kind of filling each other out, waiting for somebody to mess up. Looks like Infectious is finally getting onto the point, just going right through the Symmetra turrets, not even bothering to shoot them, as they're just trying to get damage. Down comes the Mei wall, and both teams they're just fighting. While Pumpkin with the double boop.
Oh my gosh!
This is what he does.
That's just what he does.
And
amazing.
Maryland looking like they're gonna get just a nice easy fight. To start this off. Wow, how does he do it?
That was I wish I could see a replay on that. Honestly, I might go back and look at it later, but I mean, okay, but look at Pumpkin's ult charge. Almost 80% on that ult, but oh no.
Oh no.
Musi falling to the Mei, and it's going to be a full-on retreat on UMD, except maybe they can find the Sojourn.
Look like Sojourn getting a little bit presumptuous, thinking that, it's an easy fight. They're down just to Lucio's supports. Looks like Jungle Queen is going to fall on point, and it's going to be very hard for Maryland to come back, but it's still 3v3. It's not over. They're just stalling the point now. If nothing else, I mean, the ult charge, or the charge is just ticking upwards. Here comes the overclock too. Lucio's going to die.
Overclock.
And suddenly Maryland is in the driver's seat for this fight.
Absolutely massive from Speep, and yeah, they're just going to file back in and kill the Ramatra and the Mei, winning that fight, even though it kind of started off on a really, really bad foot. But Lucio there, once again, Pumpkin, stalling out the point, just jumping around in the backline. No one can kill him.
Yeah, they did. Nebraska was up 2 players. 2 of Maryland fell immediately in that fight, and they didn't even cap.
And here comes another engage from UMD. They're going to find that Baptiste. They're going to knife and pull him out of the Immortality Field, which was already used. Big Junker Queen ult. It's going to be countered by the Lucio, but it's not enough to save Cloud and the Baptiste. Out comes the Genji Blade. All of the utilities used. He's going to find one, but he might fall two. The Ramatra ultimate, the Annihilation coming out on the side of Nebraska, and it's a scrappy fight. 4v3, I believe, on the side of UMD, favoring UMD. But they decide to back off and look at the ults.
Yeah, and even though Nebraska won this fight, seemingly, I mean, still, they're coming down with the window, but Pumpkin now has his ult back. Unfortunately, they are going to lose 2 to the Soldier in great shots, and now Maryland is just scrambling on point trying to stall. Moose just saying, we're not going to win this fight, no reason to give up some ult charge by me dying, I'm just going to back up.
Yeah, but that's a perfect fight from UMD, because look at the ult economy for Nebraska. It's absolutely in shambles right now.
Yeah.
The closest thing they have is a Lucio ult at 38%, while UMD ticking up towards that overclock and having that very impactful Kiriko rush.
And yeah, there goes the Baptiste. I mean, they lose the Genji in the process, but here comes Rush, so the damage output is still going to be fine. As they rush forward, they're just trying to chunk down the Ramatra. There's the Soldier, and she gets caught by the combo of the Junker Queen. And now it's just cleanup for Maryland. 98%. Is Nebraska even going to be able to touch after this? I mean, I don't think so.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. And there's Infectious. Absolutely not, Nebraska. You are not getting this point back. And just
More dying on the doorstep of the point there. Beautiful job from Maryland.
wow. Honestly, even when they're losing, UMD just finds a way to make the fight so clean, make it so worth it. Especially in those scrappy fights, they made the other team use ults that would have been so impactful in the next fight in the neutral. And as you can see, it completely worked out in that last fight where Nebraska had nothing. And
Yeah.
UMD was able to just go in, pick off the Baptiste, which is pivotal. Baptiste is like the backbone of this comp. And if the backbone dies first, it just falls apart like a bunch of Legos. So, Bap goes down, Tony goes down, but that's a trade that you will take. You'll take the Genji for the Bap any day. And then UMD can just rush in with the Kiri ult, and bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, there's no support at that point. I mean, you have the Lucio heals, but that's really, it's moot compared to that rush for sure.
It's absolutely over. And now we're gonna see a fight here.
Speak on the
on the Cassidy. What?
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
I don't see that very often.
I'm wondering if that was a counter pick that they had. But there's the pick onto the Kiriko, and he's got the dash
Tony.
reset. Tony's going crazy. The Junker Queen half HP now. They're just trying to live. Looks like one charge onto really anything, and they'll just fall over, just waiting for that dash, and there it is.
Wow, that's so impressive there. UMD once again going down first in the fight, but just having the remaining manpower to just chunk down Nebraska, and just take them out one by one. That Kiriko, as you can see, got very lost in the middle of that fight. Even when she cleansed herself, she wasn't able to get out. And you can see just like the difference between these two Kirikos. Like, look at Moose's ult charge versus Cloud's ult charge. It just goes to show that when you're able to survive as Kiri, you just get your ult, you get to play the game, you keep your team alive. And anyway, we're gonna go into this next fight.
Yeah, somebody's deep in there. Looks like Tony tried to get a blade off, and the Rush tried to save him as well, but Nebraska is able to get that beat down and save everybody. And now Maryland looks like they might be really losing their first real fight. They do get the trade onto the Lucio though. So coming around for the boob, if he gets somebody, this could completely change the fight. Looks like he's not gonna. Anyway, huge rush though.
It's a 3-man ult.
And that's going to get the rest of them. It's just the Sojourn here. But if there's one thing we know about Pumpkin, he's going to be able to clean this up. And
oh my god.
There they go. What a beautiful.
That was absolutely insane from Pumpkin. He killed one and was able to get the beat off to sustain the rest of the fight, keeping Moose in the fight, keeping Infectious in the fight. Infectious was able to get his ult, pop that Junker Queen ult.
And then it hit the rest of them. Oh no. Maryland had a great fight last time, and they have some great sustain.
Come on, Steve. But you know what?
Yeah, Pumpkin's gonna fall. You just need to let Nebraska have it. You know, stall up that point.
Yeah.
And,
after a blunder like that, we're just gonna look away.
Yeah.
Just gonna look away.
That's I think they overheated a little bit.
I think they did overheat a little bit, but it's okay because. Look at the ult banks. Nebraska's got 3 ults. They use that Kiri ult to confirm that fight. That's something that you'll take for UMD because now you can come back into it, maybe take a dry fight, charge your ults, and then come back in for the last fight. win it, get 20% on the point, and you're good to go. You're golden.
Yeah, both teams just trying to find the right thing. And Tony's gonna fall before any ultra even pop. They do lose. They do take the Jungle Queen ult, but one ult for that fight. Nebraska's feeling great about this now. Maryland barely was able to get any ult charge out of that fight too. So great fight in terms of the ult economy.
And it's here that you start to wonder, maybe it wasn't worth that fight using all those ults and losing the point pretty quickly afterwards. But UMD coming up on both the Curie Rush and Jungle Queen ult and Genji ult.
Yeah.
While Nebraska have a Sojourn Overclock and Genji ult of their own, we're going to see the
Here's
rush,
rush.
here.
A huge boot, but both people boot should be able to save themselves. And now Maryland somehow ends up on the front foot of this.
Good shots from Skeep. Taking out that ulting, actually the ulting Genji, who used his blade and found actually nothing. Same with the Sojourn, I didn't even notice, but the Sojourn popped her overclock, and absolutely no value from either of those ults. Nebraska absolutely reeling right now, 10% left on the point.
Are they going to be able to touch? Tony now just popping his ult immediately, seeing if he can get anybody, but
They're trying to deny
Nebraska
that touch.
can't even touch. Yeah, the Doom is able to get on point just in time, but they lose the Sojourn in the process. Nobody is there to support the Doom Fist, and now it's just clean up. Beautiful shots from Speed. Here goes the overclock. That's just salt in the wound. And Maryland, I think they're just going to take Lijiang.
Now he's just playing with his food.
Oh,
beautiful. Absolutely
beautiful flag.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah, just
what
like his
more
shave.
is there
I
to
mean,
say?
clean game.
Yeah. We're going to...
Asterisk.
Yeah, we're looking away. We're looking away.
Yeah.
So it actually didn't happen. But
What didn't happen?
exactly. So pretty clean from UMD and Pumpkin. Okay, we finally get to
Here
see
it
this
is.
boop.
Oh, beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh my
He
gosh.
gets the Lucio too, but of course Lucio is just able to wall ride.
Yo, chat, can someone clip that, please?
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful stuff coming out here from Pumpkin. We hyped him up in the pre-show, and look, I guess he just delivers.
He knows when to strike.
He knows when to strike. It's absolutely
Just biding
amazing.
his time. Doesn't go too quickly. If you jump the gun there, it's really easy to just get picked off. If you try to wall right in there, but he just waits until everyone's in just the perfect position. Waits for that lamp to come down so that they're all really grouped up, and
it's picture perfect.
Just the perfect angle.
Yeah.
Both supports fall.
Yeah,
Sorry, it was
the
Spap
Spap and the Sojourn. Yeah, but
yes.
still, I mean, again,
I'm in.
Baptiste, backbone of the comp, goes down. Same thing with Curie, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool what we're seeing here from UMD. I mean, honestly, I feel like they're absolutely fearless. I mean, even with Speed doing what he did, which I'm not saying that he did it, but what he did, like, he shows that he's playing
What some
fearless.
people might argue that he did.
Yeah, exactly. What may or may not be shown in the replay.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. But it just shows that, like, they're confident. They know that they can take these fights and just, I mean, win pretty easily. So they're playing different. They're playing these weird off angles. They're playing aggressive. They're playing quick, which means they know that their plan is going to, they are sticking to the plan that they know may or may not work, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, and on the flip end of that, Nebraska, I sensed a lot of fear, actually.
Yeah, actually. I agree with that.
Especially when they got, I think it all started when they got the pick onto the Kiriko before the fight even started, and then they didn't really push out.
Yeah.
And it gave Maryland time to adjust, figure out how can we position ourselves to kind of bait in Nebraska. And finally, the Sojourn was like we got to get a pick, and she goes to try to 1v1 the Genji, and Maryland Sojourn is able to go and help the Genji out. And after that fight, Nebraska felt scared.
I mean, it's brutal losing a fight like that where the Kiriko of all characters goes down first from a crazy pick from the Mei. I mean, Mei obviously not like the best long range character, but to get a lucky pick like that is crazy.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh my gosh, we have a golden opportunity here, and you walk in, and you get nothing from it. Like, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Hard.
And their confidence really it just wasn't there after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this game is just as much as it is mechanical as it is mental. So
Absolutely. Hopefully, they should be getting their own map pick now. So Nebraska just needs to pick something that they're comfortable on, something that they know how to play, and they just need to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, new map, new Nebraska, but hopefully also new map, new UMD. So
yeah, well, hopefully new Speep.
Oh yeah, hopefully new Speep.
Yeah.
But okay, you know what? Let's talk about Cassidy, because I know that he really enjoys playing Cassidy, and I know that Cassidy is a character that we don't see very often, but let's compare. You have a Cassidy. Oh, sorry, you can't see my arm. You have a Cassidy, and you have a Sojourn. Sojourn has a slide, like a very easy escape tool. Can, like, honestly, 100 to O people in like 0.02 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you have Cassidy, who has a bomb, and can like jump and roll.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like,
The roll does give him damage reduction.
oh wow.
His ult does too.
in the split
but-
second.
But of course, compared to Sojourn, you don't really need damage reduction if you're already at the back of your team.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
can hit you. So
Yeah, if you're in the air, like flying, like no one can hit you.
nobody's shooting a Sojourn. I think it really might have just been a comfort pick. Nobody on the Nebraska team didn't look like there was anybody who was especially countered by Cassidy. It would be one thing if Nebraska was playing like a Doomfist or a Ball, and then of course then the grenade can slow them down, can make it easier to kill these very mobile heroes. But it was a Junker Queen,
And I guess it counters Genji, but even then, Genji's got deflect, so it's kind of a skill matchup there.
Yeah, I mean, but at these high ranks, I mean,
Yeah.
you're never finding a Genji in a position where the loss of mobility kills them.
That's true. Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. That's the secret about Genji, is that mobility is a lie. You just kill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you saw Tony, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm still absolutely bewildered by some of the fights that we saw, but we're gonna be moving on. I think.
Circuit Royale.
Yeah, Circuit Royale. So definitely a lot different.
Yeah.
From Lijiang.
So I think that Maryland, this used to be kind of a rough map for them. Yeah, but now that Steep's back, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
a monster on the Widowmaker.
Oh, yeah.
Cassidy, Widowmaker's just like a Cassidy on steroids. I don't think there's a character that Steep is more comfortable on than Widow.
I'm
And there's
excited.
no map that Widow's more comfortable on
Then Circuit Royale. Exactly. Oh, Ooh, I got a shiver down my spine.
Yeah, you do not want to be anybody except for Sigma on the Nebraska side. I mean, if you're a squishy and you peek out, you're going to get shot by the BAP. You're gonna have the walls on you from Hanzo. You're gonna get Discord from Zenyatta. You're gonna get headshot from Speed probably.
Probably. Maybe 70%. Well, that's actually really high. I'd say more than half the time.
Enough that I wouldn't want to peek. I would
be
just
scared.
stay in spawn.
I would cry. But anyway,
Looks
we're
like
gonna
Tony,
see.
interesting, not opting for the high ground, just kind of standing there, not
Yeah.
letting Nebraska push up because they know that he knows that the Widowmaker, that Zen, that Fab, or they can control the high ground just fine.
Yeah, this position honestly just allows UMD to play on the cart, not give as much cart pressure, and Sigma's dropping really low. Has to use his hands pretty early in the fight. You can see that Discord Orb just doing so much damage, but where is this Widow? I don't think I've seen her go
Yeah.
to the top right area.
Well, the problem for both teams is that if you try to push out, if you try to take an offing,
and down goes the BAP!
I didn't. If you're BAP there, I mean, maybe you don't even realize that you're peeking around that corner.
Oh, wow.
Great shots from Nebraska's DPS line, able to pick off everybody, and really interesting that Maryland was able to get all of these picks, or I guess the one pick, the BAP around the Baptiste, where and on Maryland's side, the Baptiste was the first one to go. So
Yeah.
definitely shows the weakness of holding that more forward angle as well.
You're more likely to get punished, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter who dies first in this comp. It's more like who has more people die faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's all snipers. It's all long range warfare. It's not like
Yeah,
a BAP
this-
dying. It might not really save a Widow from getting headshotted, and we see Speep go down again, but Speep takes out the BAP before going down. And
Speep is kind of the anti-Baptiste.
Oh yeah,
of
actually,
this
that's
game.
true. Yeah, this Baptiste obviously not having a very fun time, but
Yeah, this is to be fair, it's very hard to play Baptiste into this matchup. Because your team, of course, they've got to push up, they've got to try to create some space, and you've got to kind of walk up with them. I mean, Baptiste, you don't have to be right up there with him, but looking for the Widow, realizes the Hanzo jumping across the screen. Oh, there goes the Zen too.
Wow.
This
Oh,
is
that's
brutal.
disgusting.
Oh, there goes the Baptiste.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Team white for Maryland. And yeah,
Yes, sir, Speep. Yes, sir.
I think he deserved it.
Yeah, he's feeling himself right now. You can tell.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this feels like he's just messing around.
It's true.
This is his home.
This is his home. Where is this place? Is it in Canada?
Maybe.
I don't actually know. Anyway.
I want to say France. Maybe that's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, enemy widow.
Yeah,
answering
great shots from the enemy widow. I mean, this is what
Yeah.
we're talking about. It's just
Back
so
and
hard.
forth.
If you know, as Tony, I mean, obviously you have to take down your shield eventually, but if you take down your shield at the wrong time, somebody from your team is getting shot down.
No
Here comes the
lamp.
Flux, but I think it's too little, too late in this fight. They get the Sigma, but it's just Sigma on point now. Here comes the Dragons, but the windows from both teams, and looks like I might have jumped the gun. Looks like Maryland is actually able to get back in time. If Sigma's able to touch this point without dying to the window goes down, and now Maryland will be perfectly fine to just stabilize here.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Like, I mean, almost perfect here from Tony, being able to stay alive, stall the card out, takes out 2 while his team is respawning, and then C3 and Jaykeezus on the high ground utilize that window to put pressure on Nebraska, forcing them to either kill the Sigma quickly, which they can't do because Tony just survived somehow,
Oh
or
no, he's on the hunt.
back up. And backing up allows UMD time to go
Speaking
back
of
to
time,
this
time is
position.
running down. Overtime already. Doomfist is on the point stalling, but he's gonna go down any second. There he goes down to the brig swap from Moose, just trying to shut down that that Doomfist, and they're not able to touch.
I didn't even realize the round was over.
Yeah, I didn't either. It was so
I'm gonna be
quick.
so honest with you. It was so back and forth. I was
Yeah,
really distracted.
Yeah, Maryland just did a great job, especially that first point, taking that kind of unkosher positioning with the Sigma. They do lose the Sigma early, but and granted they lose the fight for it, but because of that positioning, they're able to, you know, a lot of the times when you lose that first fight, it's a mad scramble to try to get anybody to the point in time.
Definitely.
And because of this positioning, Maryland was able to just casually take their time and just whittle down Nebraska until there was nothing left for them to do.
It was, yeah, like you said, it gave UMD a second opportunity to come back, and not like a rushed opportunity as well. They were able to set back up, look for picks, get picks with Speed, and like, oh, I guess the correct way would be you set up the Widow first, and then, you know, then he gets picks because it's Speed. But
and because they were able to stabilize like that, even though they lost a couple players in the fight, they had such a strong position. Bap was able to get up his window on the high ground, and Tony was able to just survive.
yeah, and the spawn advantage there, especially when the cart is right up against that first point entrance, is so pivotal. It was you could really see like UMD would lose players, but they would come back so much quicker, especially on these slower characters like Baptiste and Zenyatta, and I guess Hanzo to some extent. But are we really gonna see a
There's
Maga?
no way. Surely not.
I don't believe it.
He's walking out of spawn. They're waiting for the Widow.
Oh, C3 almost goes down, but the
He's walking out of
field
spawn
in.
with the Malga.
Oh my gosh, Maga Gaming.
Maybe Maryland, their game plan here is just to condition Nebraska into thinking, hey, the best thing to do is to play close and then pounce on that.
I mean, yeah, look at this. The damage coming in on the Hanzo. Oh my gosh,
Now,
Maga.
Yeah, great heals from Nebraska, able to keep that Hanzo alive, but still, I mean, such a strong position. Is he going to be able to find anybody? Looks like not really.
Little support. A lot of space, little support. And Tony will fall.
Really interesting strategy.
Yeah, interesting, definitely. And I mean, we'll take it back to the lab.
Yeah, it was worth one shot.
It was worth a shot.
But
for
now
sure.
Tony's back on his Sigma. It makes much more sense for this map.
Speed getting sonared by that Hanzo arrow on the top left position. And oh, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Hanzo runs into a headshot once again.
Speed seeing that Hanzo, and he just knows that he's gonna re-peek again.
Yeah, it's like a Hanzo condition, I swear. They peek the angle once, and C3 actually coming out of this engagement with 2 kills here, and
Great positioning, able to heal up his team just fine, and finds just a perfectly nice doorway, able to, you know, two little bursts, and now Nebraska, they're gonna have to do that little scramble.
yeah.
Speed Tony up there just you know, making time even more of a factor, just waiting for as long as physically possible to stay up there, and Nebraska does not have very much time left, especially with this visor. Somebody's gonna peek into it. They're gonna have to.
Ooh, Speep's got his eyes on the Widow. Knows winning this 1v1 is pivotal! And he hits the shot. Absolutely beautiful.
Looking for the Hanzo as well. Not quite able to find a great position from the Hanzo, but nobody's able to touch, it looks like. The Sigma is just buying any kind of time that they had, but there was the Immortality Field. The window does come out from Nebraska, forcing Maryland to step back for a second, but both Jaykeezus and Speep a little cheeky, looking for an off angle on that window. And here comes a window of their own. Here comes the hand, and now, I mean, this... the Sigma is surely going to burn. Looks like the rest of the team is just going to fall around him as he finally falls. The Widow from Nebraska able to find the signal, but it's nothing.
Yeah, Nebraska with the two-man Sigma ult, but Tony just says, screw that, so you're defending my team. I'm going to go ult your backline. And that's really all you have to do, especially if your backline's under attack.
Yeah, the human highlight reel.
Yeah, human. Yeah, look at. Oh my gosh, it's
what a shot.
It's beautiful. It's so good. Oh, and the. Oh. Yeah, Tony and all chat there. Guys, can someone go check his PC? Oh, what is that?
Oh, he's stretching. A little stretch from Speep. I'm sure that's what that was.
A little victory stretch. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the only things you really need to stretch your fingers, but you know.
How else would we see that shirt?
Yeah, how else would we see? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, we can say what we want, but after something like that, I mean, Speep can do what he wants.
He really runs the show. He deserves it, honestly. He can meme around a little bit, and I think that's what we saw with the Cassidy, but so it makes the game fun.
Yeah. But I mean, when it comes down to it, Speep is there. There's no question. You know, when the time's right, you're up 1 point. You know, you can joke around a little bit maybe, but
it's true.
The cards are down. You don't want to face Speep.
But you also don't want to borderline on like disrespect. You know, like give your opponents their dues, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I mean, to be fair, they're doing. The Maga thing, like it could have worked, and it did work actually. You saw the space that he got. On the top,
I love that you brought that up. Yeah, no, I thought that was a really interesting strategy. It kind of felt like they were conditioning.
Conditioning.
Yeah, I think with their original positioning on the close corner on Maryland's defense round, they conditioned Nebraska into thinking like we're gonna play this poke comp, we're gonna get up in your face a little bit, and so like this is what you should do to us, and then he just he pushes the enemy Sigma back because. You can block with the shield, you can block Malga with the grasp, but once those two cooldowns are down, you gotta give Malga his space. You gotta
give Malga the space.
And then Malga's able to get up to the stairs, and then he's able to pressure the back line. It doesn't really work out, but I thought it was a really interesting.
And I'm actually glad you brought it up because now that I think about it, after Malga goes down, I mean, where's the Sigma? He's underneath the bridge. Like that is the entirety of the first point. Not entirety. That's like the first half of the first point.
The first half of what ended up being the entire game is Nebraska wasn't able to push to that point. Maryland gets basically if they're able to win that fight, the Sigma has given up half of the game for free. And
that just opens up your DPS's sight lines, your Zenyatta sight lines, and I mean, as you can see, they took really good advantage of it. And he may have had to swap on a Sigma, but actually now that I think about it, that wasn't as troll as I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a lot of faith in their exiting the door, but I might have to try some Malga on the next time I play Circuit Royale.
Not me. I'll stay on support. Thanks. I'll stay safe.
Yeah.
You can have fun with that.
You know what? I just might.
All right. I think we're gonna take a quick little break here.
Yeah.
We will be back before the next match, but see you guys then.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together. Everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game. And so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Terp adventures take flight at STAM. Host to countless Maryland events, programs, performances, and more. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul.
All right, welcome back. It was actually a pretty quick break, but we're gonna jump right into the action here.
Yeah. Both teams on that Zarya, so somebody's going to melt quick. The Reaper up in front, and just melting down the Zarya falls immediately. Reaper almost falls himself, but he's able to just wraith out of there, get out of trouble. And the Sojourn goes down too. Lucio's going to fall any second, and beautiful opening fight for Maryland.
Oh, hammer kill.
Wow.
Oh my god.
It's hammer time for Speep, isn't it?
It's hammer time. Yeah, it is in fact hammer time. All right. Look, they're all pretty jazzed about it.
Yeah, that kind of morale boost, you know, especially in this kind of fast-paced game, teleports right into the middle of the enemy team. The Genji falling slow. Ooh, great railgun shot from Nebraska, able to get down the Genji, but they're still not able to push in because of all the pressure that especially Speed, but Tony on that Zarya, or Infectious on that Zarya is outputting as well.
Wow. This is such an interesting comp. You never see Torb, you never see Reaper. And to be fair, you also never really see Moira. I mean, I'm really excited with both of these what both of these teams have to offer. And we're going to see a Curie Rush come out here from the Kiriko and a grab.
Here comes the grab. Gets 4 players, and they're all just going to fall.
The Coalescence isn't enough to keep anyone alive.
And another hammer kill. How does he do it? How does he do it?
Infectious is absolutely stunned. He sees his little Torbjorn running up to people and just bashing them with the hammer, and he does not know what to do. And that's first point to UMD.
Wow, Maryland is just on today. This is insane.
It's just meme central. Oh, Death Blossom.
Wow,
coming
the Death
out.
Blossom. Okay, Maryland, you need to calm down a little bit. Here comes the grab. Maryland's gonna fall. Is Peep gonna get out? It doesn't look. Uses the Torbolt just to escape. Maryland, this is some disrespect.
Guys.
This is
guys.
Wow, Nebraska, huge ult advantage. They're also going to get this fight most likely, with the time ticking down. And Maryland's just not quite there yet. The teleport with the Reaper coming in, just forced to back up after the bubble goes down. But yeah, Nebraska's gonna get the point first, and so now Maryland really needs to make this fight quick.
Oh. Genji jumping dangerously low on the Blade engage. He's gonna back out. He's gonna get healed up, but that's a wasted ultimate right there. Genji Blade no longer on the table for UMD. He drops low once again.
And Maryland's gonna flip the point halfway through. They lose Speep in the process though, but great shots from Moose, able to take out the Sojourn through her ult, but it's just not enough as Maryland's going to fall now. And yeah, this is what Nebraska needed off of the opening that Maryland's been giving them.
Yeah. Been giving is the key word there.
Yeah, this has been a little bit of charity, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah. As much as I hate to say it,
yeah,
it's Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a crazy swingy? Is that a word?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. Swingy game mode. It can go back and forth really quickly. But we do see Musi with that Kiriko ult. But Nebraska will answer back with their own 2 support ults.
Here comes the rush, but Coalescence there to block it. We might even see that beat any second now. But it looks like Nebraska might just be able to hold it, in fact. And now with the rush down, they do get the flip onto the point. But here comes the grab. The beat is going to be there to stop it though. And in fact, Infectious is going to be the one who falls through that.
Wow, that patience from the enemy Lucio, so crucial there. But look at the point progress. UMD flipped the point in the middle of that. The aggression from the Reaper and the Kiriko ult was enough to push Nebraska off the point. And now UMD has 54%, but I don't know if it's enough to be able to touch.
Yeah, Pumpkin's going to have to get there. I don't think that the Zarya, even with that speed boost, is going to be able to touch. It's going to be very close, but here comes the grab, and yeah, for sure now, no. Pumpkin does get onto the point. Here comes the Death Blossom, able to find the Moira, but
it's doable.
Pumpkin getting the kill onto the Zarya as well as Peep with his lava. Pumpkin gets the Lucio diff, and the Turret is able to clean up the fight, and they flip the point.
Oh my gosh, Pumpkin there combined with Speep's turret was enough to take out the Genji and the enemy Lucio, and I think there's only one thing I can say to that in Lucio diff.
Yeah.
I think there's only one thing I can say.
That is a Lucio diff if I've ever seen one.
And now we have UMD here on some pretty interesting swaps, but it will be enough to get them back to the plane and sort of calm down for the next engagement. But 91% ticking up on the point. I'm afraid Nebraska is gonna C9 and they'll actually touch the point, but Pumpkin will fall before the fight starts.
Speed looking for anybody, but Nebraska doing a great job just playing around cover, just waiting for that Sojourn to find her spot, and she finds it. Gets 3, and looks like Nebraska is going to be able to get this point.
And that's unfortunate, but I think...
Well, isn't it unfortunate? I think it's... Maryland didn't... I wouldn't say they earned that point. They were doing a little bit of memeing.
It's a little bit of a wake-up call, you know? Like,
yeah.
You can meme as much as you want, but at the end of the day, like, you do have a match to win. So keep it together, you know? But anyway, we're going to see a swap here onto the Jungle Queen. Oh, Genji Blade coming out dangerously quick, but the beat will counter it, as well as the Coalescence. That's like 2 wasted ults.
Yeah, two huge ults from Nebraska, but they do get the beat out from Lucio. So a rush coming to re-engage for Maryland. Nebraska on the point as well. They're not quite able to get it though, and now it's just pandemonium on the point. There goes the Sojourn.
They rush out of the Kiriko ult, take down the Sojourn. Literal 5-man focus fire onto that Sojourn, and it's an absolute mess right now. But everyone on UMD side still alive. Moira, no fade now. Speed decides to pop the visor to clean up the fight, and that Lucio ult coming out is so huge. That's another wasted ult on the side of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And UMD will clean up this fight, but they take at least 3 important Nebraskan ults with them.
Yeah. Yeah. The beat needed to come out a second sooner. I don't know if he was just charging it or he thought maybe we can get through this visor, but the Zarya the Zarya falls, and you know, even with the beat, you just don't have the sustain.
Yeah.
That you know,
or
the temporary barrier. Yeah, the temporary barrier. You know, is exactly that. Very temporary.
Ooh, look at this aggression coming out from Infectious, and
he gets tipped on the wall. That you know he's pissed about that.
Oh, he chuffs the ult a little bit, but Speed will answer back with a pick on the Sojourn. It's a 3v4. Zarya not looking the most healthy on the side of Nebraska, and it's possibly winnable if UMD play their cards right.
But
they take down the Zarya, and that's massive. No tank. That's big, and look at
beautiful tracking from Speed. And here comes that ult from Pumpkin. Just been so pivotal every single fight that it's been used.
Yeah, and that Coalescence is really just gonna amount to nothing. Well, I mean, it's anyone's fight still, but the Moira will fall to Infectious, who is now back on that Queen, and it's a simple cleanup. Tony will take down the Sojourn.
And that's overtime too.
And wow, yeah. That's the second point going to UMD.
One more point, and Nebraska's out.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the ult bank. It's looking very, very possible for both of these teams. If I saw correctly, I believe they have Kiriko Visor on the side of UMD, and Nebraska may have those 2 DPS ults, but will it be enough to go against Speep's Visor?
Yeah, the problem is that both of those ults by themselves can be quite weak, to be honest. On the other side, you know, Soldier with this rush, he is able to find that Genji. They do trade out Genjis though, so it's still anybody's fight for sure.
Yeah, 2 ults for that 1 Genji Blade. He will go down, but they will also trade out the Genji. And it's a 4v4 at the moment. Sojourn Overclock is going to come out, and Speep playing very cheeky, my man, but he will find an escape.
Yeah, great job from that Sojourn saying, you know, if like you guys, we're not even going to give you the chance to fight for this point. We're just going to take it now. Let our percentage start ticking up.
Yeah,
great job.
And I mean, to be fair, UMD lives there, and that is, they can come back to this fight even quicker. And Tony with the Dragon Blade, we know that he's known for coming up big with these, but he's just gonna force the blade and force the beat and the Coalescence to come out. And UMD's gonna come back. Moose will fall on that Kiriko, and that's massive. I don't think UMD can sustain this fight anymore. And yeah, they've just decided to abandon ship, die, reset, etc.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the last fight on the 3rd point.
Yeah, you're 100% right about this. Right about that. That was a fight about sustain, and you know, both support ults. They do have to come down for 1 blade, but I mean, as the percentage ticks up, Maryland might have a hard time touching here, especially with 0 ults. So great fight for Nebraska to win there.
Yeah, 10% on that timer coming, 5%, 4% ticking up. UMD will get the touch.
Are they going to lose anybody for it? Looks like Infectious all the way in the point, but he is able to get that bleed damage. They do lose. He does lose Peep in the process. Here comes the Rampage though.
It's a 2-man ult, and UMD's going to chase down these kills. They're going to take down the Sojourn, take down the Moira. That's absolutely huge. And they might just be able to bring back this fight from the brink. Pumpkin's going to use his ult just to sustain the fight.
Yeah.
And that Grav may come out, but the beat isn't enough to sustain them through the Grav. And UMD's going to fall once again. And it's 2v2 on this flashpoint. Maybe getting cheeky and getting a little bit memey is not working out for them right now.
Yeah, if Maryland manages to throw this match, that could be, you know, if Nebraska is able to win this match and convert that into some momentum here, Maryland's going to be kicking themselves. So Maryland needs to get their, you know, get everything together and win now.
Yeah, get yo stuff together.
Absolutely.
PG version. Anyway, we're going to see Infectious here brawling where he absolutely wants to. In that door frame,
Yeah,
his E swinging so wide, but Speep will fall on that off angle. And even though they're in the Kiriko rush, this fight is going to take a turn.
Yeah, this is a horrific fight for Maryland.
Yeah, it's a blunder.
They lose the rush. Nebraska's still at all 5 volts. They are starting to lose some players, but do they have this team to continue this fight? Moose is going to fall as well, and now it should just be cleanup as long as they're able to stabilize. There goes the Junker Queen, and look at that ult bank.
Wow, it's looking bleak to say. Not, it's looking
no.
difficult
I'd say
least.
bleak. This is, you know, Maryland needs to get in there and use their ults immediately before Nebraska even has the chance.
Exactly. They need to play quicker, and to be fair, they're very good at playing quick. But what good is playing quick if you aren't able to secure the kills to win the fights?
Yeah. Here comes the fight, and already 50% though, and Maryland hasn't even touched the point. Here comes the ults from Nebraska. Nebraska is going to get the first ults out of the fight. Tony so low, but he's just not going to fall. Just chooses not to, I guess. He does fall eventually, but I mean, at this point, Infectious finding 2, finding 3, and that's going to be Maryland's fight to win.
Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 ults on both sides coming out to finish out that fight. And Nebraska may have that grab coming back, but Pumpkin saved the beat, even with the blade coming out.
Yeah, Pumpkin's beats have been doing so much impact almost every fight. He's only one fight that beat has come down has Maryland lost.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that the grab is going to be enough. Nebraska's going to need more than that. Here comes the grab, but a beat.
There's the beat.
Yeah, it comes out, and nobody's going to fall. Everybody falling super low from Nebraska's side. But now Maryland, you know, health is going to meet them. There goes Tony.
Yeah, this Coalescence just seems to be doing a lot more work than the Kiriko Rush. It's a 5v4 right now, and UMD absolutely has to clutch up. This is actually the last possible fight of the map right now.
Yeah, even though Maryland has the point now, if they die, they're not going to be able to get the touch.
Yeah, and Pumpkin will fall. Speed's gonna win the 1v1 against the enemy Sojourn, and that's actually huge.
But it might not be enough.
Tony coming back on that Tracer. They know that this is the last fight.
Yeah.
They know that they need a touch. This is a scramble, and it's a desperate one at that.
Yeah, Pumpkin should be able to get to the point just in time, especially with that Tracer.
There it is. There's the touch. He touched.
Yep.
Will be enough to
just enough time to get overtime.
Will cause
so
overtime.
gives them just a couple more seconds. Maryland's finally here on the point, but Infectious is nowhere to be seen.
Good tag.
Down 1 in this fight, and they're going to lose Tony immediately. We're going to see the overclock, but it's just not enough.
Speed popping the overclock, but getting taken out in the next second. Infectious comes back, almost has the ultimate.
Here comes the Rampage, but he's launched off of the point though. He's going to find the Lucio. They're able to trade him out since the tank is kind of out of the fight for just a second. And with Lucio down, Moose down too, that's going to be the game for Nebraska.
And that's a hard blow.
That is, yeah.
That is a hard blow. But also a lesson.
Yeah. Looks like Maryland, they didn't look two-phased. So
they didn't look two-phased. I mean, losing is something that you're used to in this kind of stuff. And amazing 4-man ult here on Infectious. And I think it's crazy that they actually lost this point with this ult, because this gives you like a ton of momentum.
Yeah.
But things happened, and
yeah,
things happened, and they were messy.
Do you want to talk about it? There were a couple questionable ults, especially on that first point.
I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe Torbjorn's. I think we're gonna have to put Torbjorn away, maybe for the next meta.
Yeah. We'll save Malga. We'll
Yeah,
save Torbjorn. We'll save Cassidy.
Put it in the archive.
Yeah,
we'll get to it later.
We'll put them in a little box. Maybe season 9 we can open it up again.
Oh yeah, season 9.
But otherwise, yeah, I think you just let Pandora hold on to that one for a little bit.
Yikes. I don't really know what else to say, guys. I mean, it was a really close map. Both teams fighting to the bitter end, like clawing tooth and nail.
Yeah.
It went 1-1, 2-2, 2-3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was. Stellar plays coming out from both sides. Pumpkin on the Lucio, absolutely clutching up on that second point, although it didn't really amount to much. Big Dragon Blades, big Jungle Queen ults, big grabs, big beats.
Yeah.
Big coalescences, honestly. That coalescence did so much work. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
if you cannot kill that Moira within the first, 4 seconds of channeling that ult,
you're not killing her for the rest of it. There's no. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a little. So I feel like a lot of people that I play with, in my ranked games, just try to focus down one target, for the damage. Oh, it's an ultimate. It's gotta kill. But yeah, I mean, great job from Nebraska, able to realize this ultimate gives you the ability to heal all of your teammates infinitely, and that sustain just launched them through several of those fights, and able to launch them through the game.
And I think it's interesting that the coalescence, I mean, both supportals would usually get charged to about the same percent, or about the same time, but Moira ult would always come out with that Kiriko ult. And I think that's maybe a little bit of a soft counter-ish, because Moira ult, yeah, it does a lot of healing, but also if you're not getting healed, it does a lot of damage too.
Yeah.
So Moira channeling into that Kiriko ult, she gets basically the entirety of the ult, so you can't stay in it for too long without getting whittled down.
Yeah, you're forced to bob and weave, and even if you are able to do that, maybe you're not in the Moira ult for very long, but you have to pick which side you want to be on. If the communication isn't there even a little bit, one missed word, one missed comm, you can end up on the wrong side of the Moira ult, and then you're just completely cut off from your team. Especially
if you're a Genji and you think, oh, she's killable, oh, she's low. You dash in and she's already full HP, and you go, what the heck? And then you just die because you can't deflect her ult.
Yeah.
And then also, especially with Moose on the Kiriko, you can't heal yourself. You can cleanse yourself, sure, but you can't heal yourself to the degree to which you can heal your teammates. So if you're getting whittled down by this Moira ult and you die because of the Moira ult, the fight's basically over.
Yeah. Because sure, you can say, oh, Lucio is AoE heal, AoE heals. That kind of counters out Moira's ult, but it's kind of the other way around, actually, where Moira just kind of shuts down Lucio as a hero, forces him onto the heals. Otherwise, your team is just slowly falling, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to play heals. You're not getting that speed boost, and you're not really getting heals either, because it's completely countered out by that ult.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but I honestly thought it was interesting to see a Moira. We don't really see Moira.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of Moira.
A lot of Kiriko on that map.
Yeah. The problem is that Moira generally has a little bit of a lower skill expression, a little bit of a lower ceiling, but they realize hey, Tony on that Genji was just going crazy on especially Li Zhang, just slicing through our team. Let's force him. We got to force him to think about what he's doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
He can't just go on autopilot. If you do, you're gonna go into that Moira. You can't deflect anything, and you're gonna fall.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed is that Tony was actually going down in first in a majority of those fights. Yeah. I mean, you're playing Genji. You are the front man before the front man, I guess, kind of. If you saw the way that they were playing, Zarya or whatever, or Junker Queen or whatever, Junker Queen would back up the Genji with her shout, or Zarya would bubble the Genji. Now, if Genji goes in and can't get out because he doesn't get a kill, or because Moira can just fade away or tickle him, what do you do?
Yeah,
you're stuck. So definitely a multifaceted approach from Nebraska, but an approach that works nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw the results.
Yeah,
they're able to beat Maryland on what has been one of Maryland's stronger game modes.
Yeah.
They've been very strong on flashpoints. And Nebraska is just able to get those counter swaps in just the right way that kind of shuts down Maryland's game plan.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
And to my Moira mains out there, if you're playing Moira because of the new skin coming out in the Battle Pass, please heal your team. Please heal your team. Your team will thank you. You'll get all the endorsements. And look at this. I think we're actually seeing Moose. Where's... Oh, okay. I lied.
Yeah. Let's not get too big for our britches.
I lied.
Yeah.
I lied. I'm so sad.
Yeah, Maryland's been talking about this Winston. He got buffed recently. It's actually not really going to come into effect this game. Higher damage on armor, especially a lot of the tank roster, but none of Nebraska is actually going to have any of those armor.
Yeah, but the thing about Winston is, yeah, look at this. He sees that Genji and he knows Winston shuts down Genji so easily. And look at this. They've cornered four members.
4 members stuck in that tiny little hole. The Sojourn, says all my team's there. I gotta go in there too, and she dies. Dies in the process before she can even get there. Sojourn is gonna fall low. So Pumpkin falls as well. Somehow Nebraska's gonna be able to turn this fight from being cramped in that one tiny room.
Wow. And maybe it was the fact that they were in that tiny room. You say that Moira has no skill expression. Jeez, thank you so much. But if you find those areas where you can just bounce orbs around, like up and down, left and right, whatever, bounce off the walls, you can get so much value based off that healing orb. But I think it was actually more the Lucio. Look at the ult charge on that Lucio versus the Moira. Lucio was 76% on his ult, nearly to the beat.
Yeah, he did a great job just sustaining his team in that room, and then with that speed boost, they were able to just explode out, and they find that Sojourn, they find that Lucio. Speaking of exploding out, here comes the rush from out of Maryland. Are they going to be able to find anybody? Jumping down that Genji, he's falling very, very low. Is he going to be able to stay up? Looks like he just might.
Oh, good shots from Speed. Going to take down the 1 HP Moira. And yeah, without that Moira, things kind of fall apart. Speed with the 3K in the fight. Can you get more? No, but it was impressive either way.
Yeah, Lucio is, don't get me wrong, hugely important in these fights. But if you lose the other, the second healer, it can be just so hard to sustain.
Yeah, Lucio just not enough to keep up against this kind of pseudo dive sort of team comp. But look at the 5 ults.
Yeah, 5 ults out of Nebraska compared to only 2 out of Maryland. Gonna get that blade and that overclock soon though.
Here comes Tony. He's angry and he's punching that Moira. The solo grab with the pulse bomb. The cleanse almost saved him.
Able to find that monkey. I mean, it looked like Nebraska was the one trapped in that corner, but the Lucio able to wall ride out and above the monkey. Of course, Moira able to fade right through, and then the grab comes in, and suddenly Maryland is the one who's trapped in that corner.
You thought you were trapped in here with me, but no. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I can't say it right now, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah, you get it. Anyway, Speed with the overclock coming in, going super far in on that Zarya, but the Coalescence once again will take her out, but it doesn't matter because the focus fire is good enough and she will fall to Pumpkin. That Coalescence basically becoming useless now, and UMD is going to try to back up here. They're going to try to reset and go after these remaining members. And
yeah, as long as they're able to stabilize here. I mean, that's really what dive is about. Is you get that pick, but if you stay in for too long, you can lose one or two stragglers somewhere along the way. Maryland is able to just stabilize, and then they go back in and they get those healers. They get that Genji. Tracer's able to get away, but at that point, you're still feeling good about the fight for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the ult usage on the side of Nebraska. It's pretty much over for them. I mean, over for the most part as in they have a pulse bomb, but Moose with that Kiriko rush, I feel the value just very much outweighs the pulse bomb. Here it comes.
Here comes the rush. The pulse bomb, Speed kind of tempted off the high ground because of the rush, and so Tracer, I guess, just not ready for that as she misses her pulse bomb, and Speed beautiful tracking on that Lucio.
Speed is taking so much pressure and just not dying. It's actually crazy. There were at least 3 people focus firing him there. The Genji, the Tracer, the Lucio is booping him around, and yet he still comes out on top. And that just says something about, 1, his own skill expression, and 2, Moose on that Kiriko, and just how aware he is of his team and his teammates.
Yeah. just refuses to let anybody die. Grim Reaper, you know, come back tomorrow maybe.
You know what they say, legends never die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Haha.
Heroes never die?
Oh, yeah, that is the right game. Anyway, Genji Blade coming out from Tony, and he's going to find the Lucio, but not much else, but it's going to be enough to maybe take the fight. Ooh, 1v1 here on the cart.
Yeah, Tracer's just stalling out that point. I mean, pressuring out the team as well, so, you know, able to multitask there, but she is eventually going to fall. Now the D.Va kind of trapped, able to boost away, and Nebraska is going to, you know, they're not going to be able to, especially losing that mech can be so detrimental. You can lose so much time, so really good for D.Va to realize, like, we just have to give them the fight for a little bit.
Oh, clean dash from Tony, and
wow, I've never seen a Winston burst a Mora through her ult. That you just don't get to see that very often.
Yeah. Also, my apologies. It's Jay Keezus on the Genji. Tony's on the Winston.
Yeah.
My bad. Jay Keezus, that was a good dash from you. Hopefully you hear that in post. But yeah.
Yeah. The Genji out of Nebraska. It felt like he was already in the middle of Maryland, and Jay Keezus just says, "Get back here."
Yeah, like just get back here. You're dying.
Yeah, you're fighting me. You're not fighting my team.
You don't have a choice. Competing beats coming out here. Speed with that overclock, not gonna find much. That D.Va bomb. Oh, so
not gonna
close.
find anybody, but Speep is like on the other side of this little hallway. Not with the rest of his team. He is able to get back, and beautiful juggling coming out from Tony. Able to find 2 with the primal, and now it's just clean. If Nebraska isn't careful, they might just lose the fight here.
Yeah, and Nebraska will fall, but losing Moose in the process. In the chaos there.
Time is ticking down. Lucio's gonna have to touch, but here comes the blade out of Jay Keezus. They find the Lucio, they find the Moira as well. They're just not able to touch.
Full map completion. I did not think that they were gonna be able to get the completion because Moose went down, but Jay Keezus sees the Lucio coming to spawn, and he pulls his Dragon Blade out and says, "No, let's end this. Let this end now."
Yeah.
And maybe it's play, maybe it's not. We'll see, but.
Looks like no, yeah, no. It's just that play, you know, making sure that the Genji isn't able to get any sort of value inside of his team.
Oh, the dash resets, absolutely beautiful. Oh, it takes on the Lucio, it takes on the D.Va.
Fantastic stuff.
That was fantastic. Wow. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe don't drop a map next time, but
you know,
have your fun.
When the cards are down, Maryland got the win.
Maryland got the win. Yeah.
They had their moments, but in the end, you know, when things needed to happen, when plays needed to be made, we see a map completion.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, and a map completion on Esperanza,
I think. If you wanted to get fancy with it.
Esperanza.
Yeah.
I swear I can read, guys. But a full map completion on that map is pretty rare, especially in these kinds of contexts. Yeah. But you could see UMD, and I mean, I know I keep talking about the ult economy, but it is so important. UMD was able to snowball off of the 4 ults that they had, maybe at the 60-meter mark, and they went all the way to like 120, 140, whatever the completion is. Yeah. And it's just so important, and Nebraska was just never really able to get their footing and answer back with their own ults. Yeah,
we also another thing that we saw very often, especially on that last map, was Maryland was in the driver's seat of those ults every time.
Right.
We almost always saw, you know, Pumpkin Beats coming out first. We saw the Dragon Blades out of Jay Keezus coming out first. And so, you know, even if Nebraska is using, you know, even if they were using the same amount of ults as Maryland, they're already dead by the time that they're out.
Yeah, and then half the time they use them, like, seconds before they die. So, like, I mean, Coalescence coming out, you get 2 seconds channel, Genji Blade, maybe two slashes, dead.
You know...
Yeah, so UMD moving first, like you said, that was a really integral part of moving. Great job to our players. Let's get one more takeover of them. Wow. You can see them. Hi, Pumpkin. Hello. Amazing game coming out from them. 3-1, and I think that, if I remember correctly, that makes us 4-1.
4-1 this season, I think.
I want to say 4-1 is in this like season of the Big Ten. So we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, Maryland has been, you know, I want to say, you know, this hasn't been the best example, but they've been clean recently.
Yeah, they've been dominant, and I know that this roster for sure has a lot of confidence. I can see it in our little chats, and I can see it when they interact. So these guys are going to go far, and I have faith.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. Well, if we've got nothing else to say,
No, I think we can just let the players go.
yeah. My name's Alex, aka Gumi,
I've been Tomas.
and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.